Hi everybody, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be doing some strength exercises with a squeezy ball and with some dumbbells. So I am doing them all chair based, so make sure that you have a sturdy chair to sit in that's not going to move or roll around on you. And for your weights, if you don't have any hand weights, you can use soup cans, you can use water bottles, anything that you have available that weighs just a couple of pounds, a few pounds. And then for the squeezy ball, if you have something like this, I got these from a toy department, so you can easily pick those up there. Anything that you have that's inflatable or like an anti-stress ball, anything like that will work. It's just to give you a little bit of ability to squish it a bit here. So let's go ahead and get started on that. I'm going to turn some music on for the background here. Go ahead and do that. No, that's not the one that I wanted. All right, hang on. Okay, sorry about the ads here. All right, so let's go ahead and get you going here. And remember to always do a slight warm-up and stretch. Let me leave that on. All right, so remember to always do a slight warm-up and stretch before you start here. Got lots of other videos that incorporate that into it. So let's get right into it with our ball. So we're going to start with some exercises with the ball. Make sure on all of these, even though you're sitting down, you always lengthen your spine, you always engage the abdominals, and you keep breathing through the whole thing. So we're just going to start with some chest presses with your ball here, or what other object that you have that you can do some squeezes here. So again, these are chest presses. The point is to focus on the pectorals, the chest muscles. Go ahead and relax those shoulders down away from your ears. Make sure that you're not tightening up your neck, tightening up your jaw. We don't want to elevate the shoulders. Tuck the elbows in a little bit here, and don't forget to keep breathing. Make sure that you're not concentrating to the point that you're having to hold your breath. So that's very important. Now go ahead and take up the tempo a little bit here. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Again, relaxing the neck, keeping the elbows down, keeping the shoulders down, and we're going for that feeling across the pectorals here. All right, let's try to increase the difficulty here. Extend out and press, extend in, or bring back in and press. Out, in. So you're pressing out, pressing in, pressing out, pressing in. Now let's go up and down. So you're pressing up top and back down. Press, press. Keep breathing through it. Don't forget that part, very important. Good, last one. All right, so let's take a little break from our presses here for a moment. We're going to extend the arms out. Remember to keep your torso up tall and rotate. So the idea is to cross the forearms. Try to touch the backs of your hands to the ball. See if you can keep from dropping your ball. All right, now one more dexterity. We're going to place the ball on the palm of the hand and see if you can just use the fingertips to roll it up toward the shoulder. Bring it all the way back to the palm. Then we're going to go underneath the arm. So you're going to roll it underneath the arm and all the way back to the hand. Good. Go ahead and switch to the other side, starting with the top of the palm side all the way up. Try to just use the fingertips, fingertip dexterity, and then same thing underneath and all the way back to the hand again. All right, good. Let's move on to some fingertip strengtheners, grip strengtheners. So we're just going to be using the fingers, pressing in as hard as we can. I'm going to add a little march here so that we're not slowing down too much. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Good. Squeeze. Press in as hard as you can. If you have any arthritis or pain in your hands, just do as much as you can. We don't want it to hurt, but we do want to try to strengthen the grip. Now we're going to take up the tempo of the squeezes. Double time on those squeezes. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. As hard as you can. Keep breathing through it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, so let's do another dexterity one. We're going to do a toss and catch. Now you can go ahead and toss up a little bit higher. Oop, I lost it. Don't do that. The goal is not to do that. The goal is to toss and catch. Now try adding a clap before you catch. Now try adding a double clap before you catch. Double clap. And if you're really up for a challenge, try a triple clap before you catch. Now let's go back to the single toss and catch with an option to do a single clap. Now challenge yourself by closing one eye. So that's going to take away some of your depth perception there. Now open that eye and close the other eye. Try that side. One more. All right, open both eyes, and now we're just going to do a side-to-side toss. You don't have to squeeze it. We're just going for that hand-eye coordination again. So again, anything that you have, even if it's not a little ball like this, you can tell I haven't done this for a while. I haven't had my equipment available until this week, so, or last week actually. So, I've got it here at home, got the ball available, got the small hand weights available, got the bands available. One more. All right, so let's move on to some lower body. So first thing we're going to do is some inner thigh squeezes with it. So go ahead and put that ball between the legs. Make sure it's just a little bit above the knees. So we don't want to put too much pressure on the knees. We're going for that inner thigh squeeze. You still want to lengthen the spine, still engage the abs, but we're focused on inner thigh and engaging pelvic floor here. Squeeze, release, squeeze, squeeze. Really try to get the inner thigh working there. Those adductor muscles. All right, a little bit faster. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And even faster still. You're still pressing in just as firmly as before. Just a little bit quicker tempo. Doing good. Keep breathing through it. Squeeze, squeeze, and squeeze. All right, let's move forward in the chair just a little bit. And we're going to do figure eights around the legs. So again, this is just a coordination move. You just want to go as fast as you can with these. Now change direction. Change direction. You can also do this standing. That's another fun variation. Change direction again. And change direction one more time. Very good. All right, so let's go back to having the ball between the legs above the knees, and we're going to come to standing. We're going to do some stand up, sit down from here. So I'm going to move my chair back a little bit for this one so you can still see me. Before you start, you want to squeeze and hold that ball. Then go ahead and come all the way up, squeeze through the glutes, and come back down. Light tap to your chair. Go into your next one. Keep squeezing. If you lose the ball, just reposition it. Just that bonus adductor exercise, but nice strong quadriceps for standing and coming up out of a chair. Just a little light tap down and then right into your next one. Good job. Let's do one more. All right, great work. Okay, so let's do some abdominals next. So for this one, we're going to move forward in the chair. Now, if you need to take a water break at any point, please feel free. Absolutely pause, get some water if you need it, take a break if you need it, totally fine. All right, so very important on the abdominal work, we're going to lengthen the spine and pull the belly button in so that we're engaging those abdominals. You're at the front half of your chair, but not so far that you're going to tip your chair forward. All right, we're going to start by reaching that ball forward, leaning back, and first thing we're going to do is just bring our ball up overhead. Now as you come up overhead, if you're leaning back without resting against the back of your chair, you're going to feel those abdominals working. Now let's just start with the alternating leg raise. You can do this with a bent knee or a straight leg, all right? I'm going to do the bent knee, but you can do it with a straight leg for a little bit more challenge. But either way, you want to think about using your abdominals to lift your leg, and you also want to remember to breathe. Even though you have those abdominals engaged, still very important to breathe. Now let's do a little bit more obliques here. So we're rotating a bit more, bringing the ball to the outside of the leg, or for even more challenge, all the way to the hip. Now you notice I'm still coming all the way up top. If you need to take the intensity down a little bit, just keep the ball a little bit lower. That's fine too. You're still leaning back without resting against the back of the chair, and you're still breathing. Not quite as deeply as you would otherwise, but we don't want to hold the breath. One more. All right, let's take a little break there so we can catch our breath. Take a nice big inhale, nice big exhale, and then we're just going to do one more with just a lean back with some rotation. So again, make sure your spine is lengthened, belly button pulled in so that you're engaging the abdominals. This time, we're gonna lean back, hold there, go ahead and rotate to one side, rotate to the other side, come back to center, and come back up. Let's do that again, starting on the other side. Lean back, rotate, rotate nice and slowly on this one. Come back to center, come back up. Now again, if you want a little bit more challenge, ball coming up higher, rotate, rotate, come back to center, come all the way up, catch your breath in between, and then again, hold on, there we go. All right, lean back, option to bring the ball all the way up for even more challenge. Feel those abdominals working. Rotate, rotate, come back to center. We're going to do one more each side. So again, either up high or just with your ball in front of you. Either one of those is fine. Slow is the key to this one. Semi-isometric move. Make sure your neck stays relaxed. Rotate, rotate, and come all the way up. All right, great job. Let's finish just one last thing with the ball. We're going to scoot all the way back in the chair and put the ball between the feet. Now feel free to use socks, shoes to give you a little bit more stability here. But we're going to start by just squeezing the ball between the feet. For safety, go ahead and hold on to the bottom of your chair. Just make sure that you're secured, and then try, see if you can do, a little bit of rotating with the ball. It's going to be harder if you're barefoot or in socks. It's a little bit easier in shoes, but the goal is to try to rotate the ball a little bit. There we go. See if you can even cross the lower legs. Good, one more. All right, so final thing with this one, we're going to do our quadricep lifts. So again, you've got the ball between the feet, hang on to that chair, and we're just flexing the muscles of the upper thigh, all right? Just a little lift and lower, flex those muscles, lift, 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 2 more times, and rest. All right, go ahead and put your ball aside. Grab your hand weights. Go ahead and grab a drink of water if you need it. When you're ready, go ahead and move forward in your chair. We're going to start with some upper back and some lower back. So you're sitting at the front half of your chair, but again, not so far forward that you're going to tip forward. Before we begin, shoulders are back and down, spine is lengthened, lean forward. We're going to do a few rows here for the upper back. So as we bring the weights up towards the body, relax the neck, bring the elbows up, bring the shoulder blades in towards each other. Get that mind-muscle connection there. Just Just a couple more like this. We're going to move into some lower back next. All right, so letting the weights hang down, you're going to come all the way up, lean back, a little bit of ab engagement there, and come back down. Make sure that the shoulders don't round forward. Just keep them slightly, shoulder blades slightly retracted, even though we're working on lower back now. Again, that mind-muscle connection. Try to visualize the body part that you're trying to work. It really helps. If you're not sure where you're supposed to be feeling it, think about what muscle group you're trying to work. Right now it's the lower back. So you want to think about those muscles engaging and working to move you. 2 more just like that. 1 more. All right. Good. Let's go back to our rows, but this time we're going to do the wider hand position. So you're leaning halfway forward again. Same thing except that your palms are turned to the rear and your elbows are going out wider. A little bit more for the latissimus, a little bit less for the rhomboids in the center. They're both good. It's always good to have that variation. Breathe through it. Exhale on the pull, inhale on the release. Last one. Okay, from here we're going to do our tricep extensions back. So you're going to bring your elbows back behind you and hold in that position so that you're stabilizing the shoulders and only moving at the elbows. Then bring the arms out to full extension. Completely lock out at the elbows. That's one of the few exercises you're going to lock out the joint. Again, mind-muscle connection, thinking about the back of the upper arms. Those triceps don't get as much attention as they should, so we're going to work on them here. And make sure you're just using the triceps. This is a very muscle-specific exercise. So not using the shoulders, not tightening the traps, any of that. Very good. Just a couple more of those. All right, you can come all the way up. We're going to go into some 45-degree lateral raises here for the deltoids. So this time we are focusing on the shoulders, just a little tiny elbow bend, and coming up about 45 degrees. So not all the way to the side, not all the way to the front. Now we're going to lower the weights a little bit slower than we lifted. So we're going to take advantage of that eccentric part, resisting gravity as we lower back down. Moderate tempo lift and slow lower down. Again, make sure that you're not shrugging or tightening up. Think about your shoulders. Slow movement, time under tension for the muscles. Good. Again, exhale with the lift. Inhale with the lower. Make sure you're breathing. Just a couple more of those. Great job. All right, let's do our rotator cuff exercise next. So those little muscles of the shoulders, we've done these before a lot with the band. The band is another good one to do this, but weights are fine too. You're just tucking those elbows in by your sides. Just come out as wide as you can without having to lift your upper arms away. So that may not be very far, and that's fine. Last one. All right, great. Let's go ahead and scoot back in the chair. We'll do a couple things with the weights on the legs here. You always want to make sure that you have the weights above the knee, no pressure on the joint. So if you want to just use one, that's okay, or whatever you've got available to you for weight. We're just going to start with the abductor, abductor, and the outer glute. So that glute medius, stabilizer muscles area. So we've got to lift and tap out, lift and tap in. Again, mind-muscle connection. Think about this part out here, that outer glute area and the outer thigh area, okay? Just a couple more this side. All right, go ahead and switch to the other leg. Same thing, make sure your weights are above your knee, and it is a lift and tap out. You want to go out as wide as you can without having to scoot around in your chair. And think about those muscles that you're working. It's very easy to just do the movements without mindfulness and without focusing on what we're trying to actually work here. And you'll get a lot more out of it if you think about the muscle that you're actually trying to engage. That way the other muscles don't take over its job. That happens a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch back, and we'll do just a few more quadricep lifts here. So very similar to when we had the ball, but weighted this time. So thinking about the quadricep, the muscle right above the knee, flex, lift. You're going to get a little hip flexor there too. That's fine. So as just make sure that you're doing your stretches regularly. All right, let's go ahead and switch to the other leg. Again, making sure they're above the knee and focusing on, you could have a slight knee bend or go ahead and just straighten the leg all the way out. We're focusing on that quadricep here. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so let's do a full body movement. We're going to do the floor to ceiling. If for any reason you're not comfortable with doing the stand up, you can stay right there in the chair and just do the upper body and the core part of it. So let's go ahead and lean forward. Let me scoop my chair back so you can see me as I come up. Lean forward, and then we're going to come all the way up, pressing up overhead. Light tap back down, press up overhead. Sorry, I know my head's being cut off at the top, but you get the idea. Now, a thing that commonly happens with these is that the knees drop in towards each other like that. You want to actively push the knees away from each other so we don't get that valgus move. We don't want to train that move. We want to keep those stabilizer muscles on the outer glute strong. One more. All right, very good job. Go ahead and come back to your seat. Catch your breath. Get some water if you need it. We're going to put one of our weights down and come around behind our chair. So we're going to do a little bit more for the glute, the hamstring, that posterior chain of the body. All right, so you've still got your chair there for support. You can use it at any point that you feel like you need it. Move up a little bit here. We're going to start by placing one foot in the center behind the chair. You've got your one weight. The other leg is extending back behind. So we're going to be focusing on the standing leg, engaging that glute, engaging the stabilizer muscles. Hip hinge forward. Bring your weight down towards your chair. Come back up. Try to keep that other foot up if you can, but if you lose your balance, go ahead and step down. Now I'm doing a press through at the top. Come back down, hip hinge forward, other legs extending behind me. If you lose your balance, use your chair. That's what it's there for. Good. All right, one more like that. Very good strengthening exercise for those stabilizer muscles. All right, let's quickly just do a balance one here. We're going to try and keep that foot up if possible, but if you need to put the toes down, that's fine too. Just do your best with these. We're going to do our rotations. We're just turning to one side, shoulders and head are moving. Take it nice and slow, come back to center. Then we're going to go the other direction. Now, I've not been very good about doing my balance exercises lately, and it is showing. So make sure that you're doing some strengthening for the lower legs and some balance exercises. Go ahead and step down now, shake that leg out, and we're going to switch to the other side. So starting with the hip hinge forward, I call this the drinking bird. The other leg coming back behind you. Again, you're focusing on the strength in the stabilizer muscles of your standing leg. Hip hinge forward, reach towards your seat. Use your chair if you lose your balance. Tap down if you lose your balance, it's fine. Come all the way up into that overhead press. And again, slight knee bend if you want to, but we're not doing a squat here. We're actually doing a single leg deadlift. Good. All right, let's do one more. Keep breathing through it. Good. Last one. Okay, so let's do the balance exercise. We're going to try to just stand on that one foot and add the rotation, turning the shoulders and head as far as you can. Come back to center. Now the other side, slow turn, shoulders and head, challenge yourself, lift through the arch. And come back to center. All right, go ahead and shake that leg out. You can put your weight down, and we're gonna do a lower leg exercise, and it's just your heel lifts, all right? So go ahead and just step out. You can keep a little bit narrower stance. Hip width or even narrower is fine. We're gonna keep the torso up. Lift through your arches, and then lift up onto the balls of the feet and the toes. If you can do it without using your chair, awesome. If you need your chair, that's fine. Now, just for fun, a little brain challenge. As we do this, we're going to do our fingertip touches. So you're still lifting and lowering. Don't forget that part. But you're doing one at a time fingertip touches. So pinky to thumb, ring finger to thumb, middle finger to thumb, first finger to thumb. Just keep going through those one at a time. And if you do it without looking at your hands, again, you get that proprioception. Don't forget about your heel lifts, though. Good. Last time through. Excellent. All right, great work. Go ahead and shake those legs out. We're going to finish with just a couple of stretches here, about 3 different stretches here. Let's start with our downward dog, which is always my favorite one. Grab that chair, great big step back, both feet. Press your hips back. Bring your ears down by your arms if you can. Slight knee bend if you need to. And we're stretching the whole back side of the body. Breathe. Let yourself relax a little bit here. Okay, go ahead and slowly step in. And let's do our calf, quadricep, and hip flexor stretch. So we're going to take our split stance. So you've got one foot forward, the other foot back. So starting with that calf and Achilles stretch, you're going to press down through that back heel. I know you can't see too well, but I'm pressing back through my heel. Back leg is extended, front knee is bent in towards the chair, and then be sure that you keep your chest up and shoulders back. Now go ahead and lift that back heel, bend that knee, and tuck the tailbone under so that you're stretching the front of that thigh. We did a lot of work for the quadricep today, so we want to stretch that. And of course, please take the time to go through all of those other stretches too, especially that piriformis, that figure 4 chair stretch. Okay, go ahead and switch to the other side, starting with pressing down through the heel. So again, this is your calf and Achilles stretch. So you're going to press down through that back heel. Front knee is bending towards your chair and chest is up, shoulders back. Now lift that back heel up, bend that back knee slightly, and then we're going to tuck that tailbone under so that you're stretching the front of the thigh. Quadricep hip flexor stretch. Go ahead and step in. All right, so let's just open the chest and shoulders here. Grab the hands behind the back. Rotate the shoulders back, gently lift. If you want, ear to shoulder, whatever your comfort level is. Always pain-free range of motion. Other side, if you're doing the ear to shoulder. Good, come back to center. All right, go ahead and shake those hands out. Let's come around, have a seat. We're just gonna finish with our final stretch here, okay? So just sitting up nice and tall, lengthen your spine. Inhale, reach up. You did a great job today. Exhale, open out. Let's do one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Awesome job, everybody. Thank you so much for being with me today, for doing our strength video today, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye. Have a great day.